morning again. And the theme, as we know, is reducing carbon footprints. And the topic that I'm going to cover is increasing tank farm capacity by reducing downtime. So, who we are, Autocompo. It is important to tell because if you're talking about reducing carbon footprints, it's important that I brief about the company I work for. It's not a new company. Almost 1 century ago, we started, and that's the history of Autocompo, starting from 1910 and then 1913 when stainless steel was evolved, and now in 2010 when a new global leader in advanced material we were formed. I'll not get more into all those details. You can have it from the internet. It's taking time to change the slide. Okay, perfect. As Salesh said, we have climate change issues, but we have limited resources. We know that we have only one Earth and we have to live with it. And the technical expertise that we have in Autocompo, that translates into the customer benefits, like over 100 years of innovation, continuous development that we are doing. We are providing better solutions, new solutions, and the idea is to increasing the competitiveness of our customers through higher efficiency, profitability, and for sure the sustainability. That is the core. What we are doing for reducing the carbon footprints, more than 90% of the material that we use to make stainless steel is a recycled one. Low carbon footprints, we have 42% of the industry average. We plan to go carbon neutral by 2050, and more than 80% of the power that we are using to make stainless steel is non-coal based. And whatsoever we are doing for sustainability, you can see it has been recognized by EcoVadis, S&P Global, CDP, and corporate ESG performance. Now coming to the subject, this is a source from NACE study 2016 that they conducted, the global cost of corrosion. And they say roughly 3.4% of global GDP we are losing because of the corrosion. And India, they say it's 4.2% of GDP that is lost to corrosion almost every year. Of course, it's not only in agriculture industry, in services also. So these are costs, and then it becomes the role of the engineer and industry that how we are taking care of it and how do we see and work that we reduce these losses. One idea is stainless steel that we are producing. So CII conducted a study in India long back, and they say that whatsoever we are losing because of corrosion, roughly 40% of this can be saved if you are using the right material at right place. Stainless steel is one obvious choice for that. And when you are going to select the stainless steel, there are two major parameters. One is the strength on the y-axis and corrosion on the x-axis. That is how you select, and the different grades you can see right from 304 to the ultra grades or duplex 904 ultra 6xn. These are the different grades of stainless steel, and I'll not cover much into detail because that's not my theme for today. We have been conducting a lot of educational series. I have talked in the same forums earlier also. So maybe those are the forums to get more into stainless steel. But briefly touching, these are the different grades of stainless steel. So when you choose, these are the important parameters. One is the composition of the material that gives you the corrosion resistance. Better the composition or higher is the PRN, better is the corrosion resistance of the material. And strength as well you can utilize when you are designing the tank farms or your equipments. This is another parameter which is called CPT, critical pitting temperature, which also plays an important part in the crevices. When you are designing an equipment, that which grade you need to select. so that you use the right material at the right place. Surely there are environments where standard 304 and 316L, they are not enough. We have seen a lot of corrosion, many people have used in different equipments and they come up with a problem. So one thing we need to understand that stainless steel doesn't mean that it will not corrode. If you use a wrong grade, it will definitely corrode. So presently, let us focus on oil and gas industry tank farms, and being most of the farms and tank farms near the coastal areas or having higher corrosion prone areas, their 304 and 316L are not enough. This many studies have been done on that. On the left side, you see this is a 316L, it has corroded. On the right side, that's a very clean, almost same time service life, and you see the surface is very clean. What is ultra grade? It is used for extremely corrosive environments, and FOTA is basically it's a duplex stainless steel which has both austenite and ferrite structure. It is the optimal combination of higher strength and higher corrosion resistance. General characteristics: austenitic, very good resistance, PREN up to 56, very good resistance to stress corrosion cracking, excellent formability and good weldability. That's the ultra range. When you talk about the duplex stainless steel austenite ferrite structures, strength more than 400 megapascal, which you can use to reduce the thickness. As we go further, you will understand that how it is done. A very high resistance to localized corrosion up to 43 PREN, high wear resistance, low thermal expansion, high energy absorption, and good fabricability. These are the parameters. Of course, all these materials have already been tested in the by the oil and gas companies, and according to different standards, different storage tank manufacturers, and you can see that when you're using the duplex stainless steel, in most of the cases, in most severe environments, the corrosion is not expected. I would like you to focus on the second last line, FOTA SCX 2507. Even though in ASTM G36 45% magnesium chloride solution at 155 degrees centigrade, it is written expected. We did one test in India, and this was done by third party, and wherein we provided them the samples of SDX 2507 for Indian Oil Corporation, and the sample lasted for around 329 hours. So, which means that compared to other grades of stainless steel, this worked very well in India. What is FOTA 2507? On the right side, you can see when we are using different grades of stainless steel in the chloride containing environments, which are in the coastal areas, the grade is selected basically on the ppm. And surely in India, the tank farms where they are situated, the ppm of the water that we have is too high, and the temperature levels that we are talking about is not ambient like Europe, like 20 degree or 22 degrees centigrade, but we are talking about temperature like 45 degrees centigrade. So 2507, we have tested 2205 also, but we found that 2507 actually provided the life expectancy what it was planned or what we were thinking. And to support my idea, now coming to the actual picture, we do a lot of talking on the technical backgrounds, but what formally we hear from the project owners, one thing is the cost, second thing is the standard, and third thing is the government regulations. That is, we always hear, oh, the government doesn't allow, or maybe the cost is going too high, or maybe they say that how is the cost economics? Can you show? So I'm going to present to you a case study, which is actual case study based on the actual cost. This is for a crude oil storage tank, diameter 79.5 meter, height 18 meter, relative density of the oil is 0.85 degrees centigrade. In temperature, we are talking about 50 degrees centigrade on the ports. And the grade that we have suggested is duplex 2507, and that we are going to compare with carbon steel A36 that is presently being used. And we know that crude oil itself is not corrosive, but still all the oil companies know that they have a lot of issues with the bottom plate, and the reason is that when the tanks crude oil storage ships get emptied, they are flushing it with the seawater. So that water comes in the storage tank, and then some sludge is formed which remains stuck, and the bottom plates starts corroding, and it's a big pain to them. It is also known that when you are shutting down these storage tanks, the actual maintenance time is 8 to 9 months, and out of this, the oil companies have told us roughly 3 months they are spending just to change the bottom plate. 3 months for bottom plates. This is the layout of the bottom plate. So on the, if you see the dimensions written on the right side, you have carbon steel A36, where the sheet length is 12 meter. For duplex, super duplex, we have considered same. Sheet width 2 meter we have taken for the both the things. In A36, the thickness being used is 8 mm, but here where you use super duplex stainless steel, where the mechanical strength RP value, RP 0.2 value is too high, almost double, you have a possibility to reduce the thickness. Of course, you cannot go down from what is recommended in the standard, so we took just 6 mm. Then we calculated the area of the tank, basically the bottom plate. So the weight for bottom plate in that 79.5 meter tank is 330 metric tons of bottom plates when you use A36. When you use 2507, it is 247 tons. Along with the bottom plate, you have to change the annular ring also, and again the width is 0.75 meter, thickness is 16, and here we have recommended using 14 mm, area is 188 meter square, and same over there. The ring weight is 28.1 metric ton, and for 2507 it is 24.6 metric ton. Coming to the cost estimation for the bottom plate, including annular ring, the initial material cost per metric ton in USD, A36 at the moment it is around $950 per ton. And for 2507, it is $6,700 per ton, which means the initial per kg or per metric ton cost, if you consider that, the cost of super duplex is 7.05 times the cost of carbon steel. And normally people stop there. They do not think beyond. They say, oh, it's a 7-time cost. Why should I invest over there? So we conducted the study, and let's see how it goes. The material cost, if you compare, we know the weights. For A36, it was around 358.1 metric ton, whereas for super duplex, it was 273.6. We multiplied it with the cost of raw material. That worked out to be 340, 195 for A36, and 2507, it is 1819720, which means that the relative cost, which was earlier 7.05 times for super duplex, it reduced to 5.35 times by utilizing the strength of super duplex to reduce the thickness. Then you go to the welding and assembly cost. Welding for bottom plates on the left side, you can say the weight we have taken roughly 330 metric tons to 47 tons. Weld and assembly cost we have considered for A36, it is around $20, whereas for stainless steel it is a bit high, almost 1.5 times, then $30 per meter. And length will be same. Annular ring weight 28.1 ton and 24.6. Similarly, for welding and assembly cost, for stainless steel it will be 1.5 times, and weld area is more or less same. Then additional cutting cost we have taken again 1.5 times for stainless steel. Cutting length is same, and if you put that on the top under total welding and assembly cost, it is coming $85,000 and $127,500. Then on the yellow box, you see it's the surface treatment cost. In the surface treatment cost, for the when you're using carbon steel, you are doing some cathodic protection, or sometimes you use paints at some places. Whereas in when you use stainless steel, you don't need a cathodic protection, you don't need to use any paints. But surely there is some cost involved, which is the pickling of the weld joints you have done. So that we have considered, and that's a very small cost, but still we have taken. And if you add that also and get into the relative cost of super duplex is 3.77 times as compared to A36. So from 7.05, you can see just by adding welding cost and surface treatment cost, the relative cost has gone down. Now the question comes that, okay, if we are looking at it, does the standard allow it? And what does government say? On the left side, you see a table. This is a screenshot from API 653. And I would like you to go to the item number 6, which says bottom constructed from stainless steel material that meets requirement of API 650 annexure SE and all that. You can see that you can enhance the inspection time by 10 years. It means that if you are inspecting your tank after 5 years, but in case you have used super duplex or duplex stainless steel or any stainless steel, you can inspect that directly after 15 years. You no need to inspect after 5 years. This is what standard says. The second question which comes that, okay, you people talk about life cycle costing. Does government allow that? Because most of the projects are government. On the right side, you can see that there is a notification from Ministry of Finance on 2019, which very clearly says that for when you are designing a project or considering the project, you can consider the life cycle cost, and that will be accepted. So both the government and standard, it is allowing to use the life cycle cost and higher grade materials for the projects. The normal estimated life cycle that we are planning or oil companies plan for a tank is 30 years and we have tried to calculate the cost of bottom plates including annular ring for 30 years. A36, I have kept the same figures what I put it earlier. Material cost, initial cost 3.77 times that I have shown you in the previous slides. Now coming to the maintenance cost, which is most important. As I told you in the morning, when a tank goes for a maintenance, it is closed for some 8 to 9 months, and roughly 90 days time is spent just to inspect and change the bottom plates. And the typical contract values, I have put it in the orange table, and these have been taken from the sources, right sources. We have not just estimated. Shutdown time, I have taken only 90 days, just for bottom plates, nothing for else. I have not considered the whole. Maintenance cost, which is working out to be $6,650 per day, and replacement cost is 340,000 roughly dollars. Service life 30 years, and inspection interval I have taken 10 years. So what you are losing is 90 days every time your inspections, and for 30 years you are doing the you need at least 2 shutdowns in when you're using this carbon steel, but in super duplex it's only one. We have considered those costs. So total life cycle cost, if you put up that maintenance cost, because the standard says that you can avoid one maintenance cost and you need not change the bottom plates, and the standards have shown and the results have shown that the material can last for long, the maintenance cost for the bottom plates is almost negligible. And if you work out that and add on to the facts and these figures, the relative cost of super duplex is only 0.6 times that of A36, which means the cost of super duplex has reduced. And if you add even the lost production cost, which is $450,000 in case of A36 for $90, the relative cost has gone down to 0.5. So life cycle cost that we could finally work out is when you're using super duplex in case of A36 and compare it for 30 years, you are making a direct saving of 40% in the cost also. Summary and way forward: reduce downtime by 90 days per tank. It automatically means that you have increased the storage capacity for 90 days. Standards allow using stainless steel. Government has provided the provision to consider LCC for the projects. We have all the tools in hand. Oil companies have already adopted duplex stainless steel for firefighting pipelines. Many have been done in India, many projects. It's a time that we expand the scope. Using sustainable material, we all are contributing to create a world that lasts forever. Of course, there are many other examples, case studies, but I thought that it's better that I provide only one, at least make a short and another step ahead. Thank you. And if you need any additional details, these are my contact details. You can contact us. You can find it on Autocompo. There are corrosion handbooks. There are storage tank calculators on our website. You can go into it. Basic calculations are there. And if you want any additional details, we are always there to support you. Thank you so much.